What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Plant Movement Podcast. And today is a special, special day. My name is Willie Rodriguez. I'm with Age Ornamental Nursery and the Plant Movement Podcast. Today we have Daniel Montanez from Modern Day Tech Solutions, also the lieutenant of one of the lieutenants at the Miami-Dade Fire Department here in Miami. Wow, man, this guy's moving, doing a lot of things. He's a family man. All right. Wow. Thank you so much for coming on to jump on the Plant Movement Podcast with us.
Thank you for having me, man. Thank you for having me. I'm very excited to be here. This is an excitement moment for us. So
it is. It's a blessing, and this is what it's about. Other businesses coming on, so you guys can hear them, see what they do. You can contact them. That's what this is about. Spreading the love.
Absolutely.
Spreading the love. So tell us. I know you do cameras. I know you do lighting, right? That's what you do, and all the stuff that intertwines in it. How did you get into this industry? What got you into the cameras and the lighting and all that stuff? Being a firefighter, having all this other stuff, because I know firefighters have, what do you guys have, 24 hours on, 48 hours off?
Correct. That's our schedule.
So a lot of you guys do things on the side.
Absolutely. We have the blessing to have that, and it also takes our mind off of everything that we go through. So that's actually why I continue to do this, because the things that we see out there can haunt us, and so we try not to keep that in our minds, and we do things on the side to
stay busy.
Yeah.
And to make more money.
Correct.
Because living in Miami, you can always use a little extra.
It gets more expensive every day.
Every single day, especially with all the inflation and all the fun stuff we're dealing with in today's day and time.
Yeah. So
how did you get into the industry?
Crazy enough, it started when I was probably 17 years old. My parents had just bought a house in an area that was pretty much all construction. So new construction. Correct. So it was very dark, and there was a lot of theft. Oh. So they had broken into my brother's car. They broke into my parents' car, and I was like, hey, they actually stole my dad's trailer out the side. Oh
Lord!
And with all his tools and everything in it. So I was like, hey, Dad, why don't we go ahead and put a security system? He's like, what is that going to do? I said, well, we can catch him on video.
Yeah.
And so I did it, and we were able to.
You set that up.
Correct.
But like watching videos on YouTube or just looking at the instructions?
Back then there wasn't much YouTube right? Yeah. So it was just starting off, but I had seen a system, and I was like, hey, why don't we go ahead and put this in? So we ended up doing it, and unfortunately, they did break in through my parents' bedroom.
Where you didn't have a camera.
well, we did on the outside. So
awesome.
But they were kind of limited because we had dogs, so they didn't leave that area. So they actually caught him.
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
He actually broke into our house and a couple other houses, and others had cameras already installed.
Okay.
And so we caught a good image of his face.
Nice.
And so they were able to put him away for, I think, 10 years. My dad got subpoenaed. The video got subpoenaed, and it actually worked. And I was like, man, this is amazing.
If you wouldn't have done that, none of that would ever happen.
Correct.
Okay.
So, it just went on from there. And I've actually had, I think, 5 more instances where now with today's technology, we're able to get notifications straight to your phone when it's happening.
Yes.
So we've had other instances where we've been able to stop those,
And you do that that's something that he offers for all his customers, for you guys.
Correct. And so along with the system, we can add sirens, and that's what I install. So that pretty much, you see something that's going on, you can trigger it straight from your phone. You can trigger the siren, and then it goes off. It's very loud, and it's deterred a lot of people. So
that's awesome.
It's an amazing system. So that's pretty much how I got into it. And then I remember we hadn't seen each other for a while, and we ended up hooking up.
Yes.
And I actually
did
your house.
Did my cameras in my house.
Correct. So, and then you linked me up with a bunch of guys, and then,
in the nursery.
Correct.
In the nursery business.
Well, you linked me up with Demas.
Yeah.
And then, it just continued off from there.
Which was a crazy story in itself, because I had no clue. My buddy's like, hey, do you know anybody that does cameras? This was a couple months after he installed mine. I was like, bro, you got to call my buddy Daniel. So he called him, and I didn't know what happened after that. And then I listened. We contacted each other, and we started talking again. And he told me all about that, which was super awesome.
Yeah,
super awesome that you were able
Demas
to get.
was actually my first nursery install. It was a little different.
Demas is
than what I've
from
been used to.
3D's Nursery. All right, down
Correct.
here in Miami.
Correct. Shout out to him. Thanks,
Yeah,
Demas.
shout out to Demas and Devin. I love these guys. I actually went to high school with them.
Absolutely.
Well, from elementary.
Yeah, they told me. So it was a little different, but it's worked well. So.
And that has become a niche.
Correct. And I'm a firm believer of customer service, right?
Oof.
So
Yeah,
I give him great customer service apparently, and he referred me, and then it just continued on with the referrals. Never done any advertisement in the nursery world, but you guys apparently are a small. Even though you guys are competitors,
we are.
You guys
niche.
talk so much,
and
thankfully that I've been able to do these installs. So
what all goes into? So I know you did another one, Island Tropical Foliage.
Correct.
You also did Big Tropical Farms.
Correct.
Talk about the biggest one you did was Island Tropical Foliage.
Correct.
The most cameras.
Correct.
Talk about that whole. Tell me about that whole thing. What you set up for them and how you went about it, and because you told me they have Wi-Fi in the whole nursery.
Correct.
And cameras throughout. So talk about that.
Correct.
I want to know about that. This is nursery guys. Listen to this, because this is something that you can get at your nursery that will really bring you up to par. And the theft, which is something we're seeing a lot more of now, and everything he's going to get into, this is something that you guys can jump on and get at your place.
So Larry contacted me and told me, hey, I need a system. I need a good system, right? So I went over to the property and I looked at everything that he had in place. He actually had a security system in place, but wasn't working very well. Mm-hmm. And the thing that you guys in the nursery industry suffer from a lot is lightning strikes, right? So he has a significant amount of lightning strikes that causes his systems to
burn out.
Correct. So I gave him the idea of putting in hardwired systems instead of Wi-Fi, which is kind of like what he was doing.
The signal's better.
Correct.
Hardwire. So you do it through the air or underground?
So both. It's harder to do it under the ground. We'd have to do like trenches and whatnot. Okay. So we use outdoor wire that's meant for weather, and it doesn't deteriorate over time. So we did all his cameras. He has I believe right now 25 cameras.
25 cameras.
25 cameras
throughout
across
the whole nursery.
The entire nursery. Yeah. So he also wanted Wi-Fi throughout the entire nursery, and I was like, wow, he's got a big farm. Yeah. So I linked up with a company called Ubiquity, and they are an amazing company. The systems that they use were able to broadcast Wi-Fi throughout the entire property with just a little amount of devices. Okay. Right? So he had a couple of issues. Right. We're limited to how far we can run a cable. Okay. So we had to come up with different ideas of how to actually get everything back to the main system. Okay. So we were able to use radios, antennas to communicate with each other, along with the Wi-Fi in the property to send it back to the system.
Awesome.
And it's an amazing system, complex system, but simple enough that the owners can look at it and say, hey, okay, something's going on.
And this was your first big job like this where you had to get other people involved to be able to do it.
Correct.
And that goes to show you guys, you can do anything you want in life. You just got to put your head to it and your mind to it and pull the trigger.
I'll be honest, I was a little nervous to take on a big project, but
you're always nervous when you jump into new things.
Luckily, there was great people around me that guided me in the right path, and I had a great knowledge of everything that I used. Right, okay. So to date, none of the cameras have failed, and we've had
using high quality cameras.
Correct. So, and they've had already about 3 or 4 lightning strikes that have taken down other equipments like their computers and whatnot. And my system, they're like, your system no, nothing. So
you brought a camera. Where's the camera at?
So this is the This is what I call the Big Papa.
This is the big boy.
Right. This is this
Wait
is the
till
big
you
daddy.
guys see it. It is a big boy.
So,
I got shook when I saw it. It's neat, man. It's so neat. I love this stuff. Look at this camera, guys.
so this is a camera that's called the PTZ camera.
Okay.
All right.
What does this do?
What that means is pan, tilt, zoom.
Oh, wow.
Okay. So
Does it
you can
all.
control it straight from your phone.
Oof.
You can, and this goes about, I want to say 700 feet. It zooms in.
Wow.
So we can see his whole farm straight from the center, which is where we put the PTZ.
Okay.
So the great things that this has is what's called smart tracking.
Okay.
Smart tracking. So say anything comes into the picture, it'll follow it until it leaves. Right?
It'll actually move and pan and tilt.
It'll zoom in, and then it'll follow that person until it's out of the picture.
Oh, nice.
Another thing that the whole system is, which is amazing, is that I can create trigger points where if someone comes into one of the cameras into that feed, because we set it up, different times of the day that he wants. If anybody comes into there, then it would trigger this camera to move over there and zoom in.
Okay.
And then if anything is in there, then it'll follow it the entire time until it moves out of the picture.
That's amazing.
It's phenomenal, right? And so it also sends notifications straight to his phone. So it's so amazing because now we're in modern day. So
Yeah.
it's amazing how where I started and where I'm at now in regards to the system, how much
Better.
technologically advanced
It's gotten way better.
it's gotten. So this is such a great deter because they, especially now in today's day and what's going on, there's been a lot of theft in a lot of the farms.
The nurseries, a
Correct.
lot. Golf carts, plants. They
Correct.
broke into one of my nurseries. They cut the fence and they stole 700 3-gallon plants one night.
Insane, right? So what if you had a system in place that
They could have
would
caught them.
notified you right away?
Oh, we would have caught them.
Crazy.
In the act.
Crazy.
And not just that, but also, this is just one of the cameras. You use a bunch of different type of
Correct.
cameras. This is just a big boy.
Correct. This is the big boy. It's got night vision up to that 700 feet. So it zooms
it's gotta
in
be clear.
and
It's
it's
gotta
got
be beautiful.
it's an amazing picture.
You were also telling me something about the systems that are in place with their screens and stuff that they can kind of do like an inventory count based off of what they have in the system as well using these cameras, which is something that intrigued me a lot aside from the security aspect
Correct.
of it.
So
Tell us about that. Wait a second.
So we're looking into a system to have everything tracked on the property, right? So we got the cameras covered, right?
Wi-Fi's covered.
Wi-Fi's covered. The great thing about the Wi-Fi and why he wanted it was because he has physical workers going around, and we have a SharePoint.
It's an app
Well, it's through Microsoft. It's
on a phone.
It's like in a cloud.
Okay.
Right. So they go and they do the inventory, and you'll be able to see live view of how much you have. Hey, how many of
the inventory
of these plants do we have? We have 300.
And if you know the blocks, like based off of, like for now, like for me, I do it by the sprinklers. So all the sprinklers are X amount of feet apart.
Correct.
By X amount of feet apart, and I know what's in that area.
Exactly.
So they can look at that and be like, okay, we have an order for 2,000 plants. Let's look and see. All right, yep, there's 3,000 there. We're good. Yep, yes, sir, we have them. And it's faster.
That's it.
You don't have to send somebody out. You don't got to count 1,
Correct.
2, 3. Oh, I
Correct.
forgot.
You could just
And do
look
it
up
again.
and search whatever plant it is you want, and then it'll tell you how much inventory you have.
That's crazy.
It's
No, but it's
insane.
crazy how there's so much technology around that we can use it to our benefit in the plant world.
Correct.
You know, you guys that are out here with nurseries, this is something that is good. It's a good investment at the end of the day because it will save you money. It can save you on security with people stealing. Time, all that type of stuff. Imagine having to send some guy out to go count 2,000 plants, and in the process of that, he gets a phone call and he missed his count,
Right.
and he's out there for an hour. You know, like for real, it's cost saving too at the end of the day, and you can watch everything from your phone. You can see if your employees are, working hard or are they out there playing around.
Yeah.
That's another.
The
thing
way I
too.
see it is the thing that we can't get more of is time, right?
time.
So we're trying to incorporate everything to where it's more efficient for the owner or whoever's running it, that they can just look at it and say, hey, this is what we got, and you can go forward from that.
That's awesome, dude.
I'm trying to incorporate a couple more things since we have the security with it, to actually offer a little more, but we're going to get there soon.
No, you're going to get there. You're going to get there. As time comes, that goes into your earnings, right? So whatever earnings that you're making as an entrepreneur that you're trying to grow, right? We're all trying to grow.
Absolutely.
That is something you could do with your earnings. You get your earnings and you put it right back in and you invest into softwares that.
Absolutely.
Danny wants to create something that can actually count product, which is amazing because it doesn't exist right now. We can't find it. So look at the innovation potential from this, in so many, it's huge. It's huge that can happen.
I'm excited about that because, it's going to be a great system, and it creates more time for you guys to actually build more.
No, we need that. We need that in this industry. There's a lot of big boys out here that would love, your service and your product in their place, like for real, because they're massive, and it just cuts away so much time that's needed to waste on doing things like this.
Absolutely.
So it's awesome, dude. It's awesome that you actually got into this and you loved it just by installing it at your parents' house. And this guy right here does really, really good work. Like, he doesn't use, electrical tape. And
that's the thing about me and a lot of the nurses a lot of nurseries that I see out here. People don't. They just do it quick and get out, right? So we like to if we set it up the right way the first time, you're not going to have any issues later on.
And you have a service plan, right? Where you
Absolutely. We have a maintenance plan where we come out and we service it every month.
What does entail? What does that entail for the service?
So if it entails, going in, if we have to move a camera, let's say, hey, you know what, we got some new inventory over here. I want to be able to see that. So if there's a camera nearby, then we'll go ahead and point it in the right direction. Make sure, the owner is good with it, and if they want to have it secured where they get notifications every time somebody goes in there.
And you just make sure everything's working properly. You guys
Absolutely.
clean the cameras.
We
clean the cameras,
and we make sure all the equipment is up to par
and working properly.
And working properly. The biggest thing that you guys suffer with, like I said, is lightning strikes. So I have found some new technology that so far it's looking promising. And I actually installed it in Larry's, and none of my system, nothing in there has gone down. So it's a backup battery, but it controls the electricity that comes in. So the surges that come in, that's where it burns out, right? So it causes a spike in electricity, and then it's too much for the actual devices, and so they end up burning out. So the system that I've gotten, it will control that before it gets to the system itself.
Okay.
It'll like shut that down right there, and then it won't allow that to happen. So it's looking promising so far, and we've gotten good results.
I'm excited. The maintenance is something cool because a lot of camera guys, they just they just want to come out and install the camera and get out of there, right?
Yeah.
So Daniel's got something in place where he makes sure every month that your stuff is up to par and working exactly. Your investment is working properly, because that's 100%. One of the biggest things. You invest money into this stuff, and then it doesn't work properly when he leaves or whatever a month later.
And then you can't get in contact with that guy.
And you can't get in contact with the guy. This is different. It's a service plan set up to help you guys to make sure everything is okay and your investment is working as it should. Another thing, guys, for all you contractors out there that are building homes and you have these high-end projects, anything, Danny also does lighting as well, and you can set this up. You can offer these services. The landscapers too, you can make a commission off of it. You can set it up where he can come out and get this done for you on a professional scale, done very well. He's got an awesome team backing him up as well. And you do lighting too. That's another thing that you do as well.
Correct. Yeah, everybody wants their houses to look beautiful when you
landscape
walk up,
lighting
right?
too.
So,
you do landscape lighting?
Yeah, that's one of our. That's actually another thing that I've gotten from this. I've met a couple landscapers, and
Okay.
they've given me some business where, you know, they'll install the plants, I'll install the lights. We all make money, and, you know, we're all happy at the end
No,
of
and
the day.
people, let's say your home or your office building, you need stronger Wi-Fi signal in different areas. This is the man.
Absolutely.
Cameras all over the place. This is the man. Lighting. This is the man. So these are all things that this is why I want to bring, you know, people on and you onto the Plant Movement Podcast to share what others do and their story and how powerful things are by just networking and talking. You know, we've had some very deep conversations in the past of just, you know, growth and earnings and what to do with earnings and how to keep pushing.
Absolutely.
And how to grow, which is something that I love to do. That's what I love.
Yeah, just like the conversation we had the other day. I was like, you opened me up to something so new. I was like, why didn't I think of that before? You know, I was like, Jesus Christ.
What we were talking about
the investment.
The investment,
right? So we talked about how we could use money that we have available to us in equity, and use that towards you know, opening up something else that could potentially make us more money,
of course,
and then continue on from there.
Yeah,
you know,
which is a whole episode I have written down here on the board to talk about, which is what to do with earnings. Even if you're not a massive business, it's okay if you own a property, which is one of the best assets to have.
Right,
you can, you know, get equity out from that property.
Absolutely,
and now you can make moves with it, and it's awesome.
Yeah,
that's what this is about.
You know, after that conversation, I called my pops up. I was like, yo, we gotta talk.
We gotta talk.
We got some business to do, you know, and
that's what this is all about, bro.
No, 100%.
This is all about having something where we can talk and others can hear
and build each other.
Light bulbs get turned on and people grow.
Yep.
You know, that's what we need right now. We're in a crazy time in the world, and growth right now with all the money flowing around. You want to grab as much of it as you can, right?
Absolutely.
And make as many moves as you can because, you know, the tomorrow's not promised. You get me?
Yeah.
In life in general.
Absolutely.
And I know you see all that stuff in what you do for a living, and I thank you for doing what you do out there because I know it's tough, and I love all you guys, all the police department, the fire department. I love you guys and what you do because I can call 911 and you know you guys right show there. Up. You know, and that's powerful, and you save lives every day.
Absolutely.
So God has blessed you, and He's going to continue blessing you. You have your kids, your 2 children.
Beautiful. Your
beautiful wife. You know, God has blessed you big time.
Absolutely.
And you have all this other stuff that you're doing aside from being a firefighter, which is a basically full-time mental job in itself.
Correct.
And all the preparation that goes into that with training and this and that and learning and soaking up on stuff.
100%.
So you're a busy guy. So that's just to show you guys, if you have kids, if you have your day job, that's the best way to get into another stream of income, which is starting something else, is having your bread and butter that actually pays for your lifestyle.
Absolutely. And
then jumping into other things to keep growing.
Yeah. I mean, there's always going to be that fear of starting something.
No, there's always a fear.
But, you know, once you start it, you start feeling good about it, you know, and you're always going to have ups and downs. But in the end of the road, things usually always end up getting better.
If you set it up properly and you have the drive and you're 100%. Focused, and one thing is you only know, like before you start a business, you only know what you know.
Right.
But, you know, before you jump in. When you jump in, that's it, you're involved. So once you're involved, that's when opportunities start to come, doors start to open differently, and your mind starts changing because now you're involved. You're not thinking in the what ifs, and now you're moving.
That's one of the things that I battle with myself. Like, you know, there's not that many doors.
Doubt and
you know,
fear.
There's not that many
battle
doors.
With it. All of us.
You know?
Every entrepreneur out here battles with it.
And damn, yeah, I looked this up, but that person's doing it. That doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, doesn't mean nothing.
You can gain on that, right? Mm-hmm. You can build yourself, and you can create something just as good or even better. You know,
and you can team up with them too. That's another thing. You can team up, like us in the industry, in the nursery industry. All the people that, let's say, are my competitors, right?
Yeah.
I buy from them all day.
And
they buy from me all day.
I noticed
and
that.
we help each other out all day. We put food on each other's plates.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
But that's what it is.
I've never seen that in any other industry that I've worked in, right? Is that you have competition and you guys know you guys are each other's competition, and then you guys end up selling to each other.
But that's what it is. Because at the end of the day, we're all here to make money. We're all here to come through for the customers that we're blessed with to have. And that's what's cool about this industry, that we do that. We all do that, man.
Absolutely.
It's funny. It's funny. But this is one of the only industries that you do see a lot of that.
Yeah.
That goes on. At the end of the day, that's what it is. But I am blessed and honored to have you here, man. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule. All right.
Thank you
for what you do. I love you, brother. All right. And nothing but blessings for you. If you guys need any of his services, how can they contact you?
You can contact my phone number, 786-247-6712. You can also find us on Instagram, Modern Day Tech.
Website.
And also modernday-tech.com.
We're going to put all this in the description as well.
And reach out.
You service real quick from Palm Beach to the Keys.
Palm Beach to the Keys.
Palm Beach to the Keys, guys, in Florida. All right, so you guys watching in California.
Correct. Fly me out. I'll take care of it.
Fly them out if you want to check them out. But so you service all that, and that's it. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you, Danny, for coming on. I love you guys. Stay tuned for the next episode. Nothing but fire. We're here for you guys. All right, love you. God bless you. Let's go.